Hey there, my name is Boelter. Welcome to Mountain Brook Farm, located in Collinsville, Alabama. And I am trying to cover my bases here and introduce myself because I didn't do that when I was putting this video together. Something to take note of with the pasture breeding that you are about to see, and there's another introduction that follows this, is that my stallion, I recorded every time he bred a mare today, and it was almost to the last minute correct that he bred them 45 minutes apart every time. So just a little tidbit there. Hope you find this educational. Thank you. Hello, welcome to Mountain Brook Farm. Today is Easter. It's April 1st this year. And I'm standing out in my stallion's paddock, and he seems to leave himself a little bit of grass out here. The horses you can see next to him across the lane, those are our brood mares, NSS Alagio and Riveranch Angelique. So I put together a compilation of pasture breeding videos today, and it went very well. It was really successful. Riveranch Angelique is a dark bay mare that I've had for 2 years now, or going on 3, and she has always I could barely ever tell if she was in heat. And just by chance today, I happened to see one of my mares, Alagio, showing an interest in my stallion, but none of them were really winking or urinating or doing anything that was super noticeable, since he lives right across from them, and you know, they can't really get that close to him where they live next to each other in separate paddocks with a lane dividing them. They can't really get close enough to each other to get a good tease, but they do see each other all the time. So the video you're about to see shows me putting my stallion in with my mares, and I had John help me open the gate and then kind of shoo the mares back because they immediately want to come up to the fence and greet him. And I released him, and you'll see his behavior. And it's really interesting, and the whole purpose of me making these videos and posting pasture breeding on YouTube is for educational purposes. There are a lot of people that work with artificial collection, insemination, and have large breeding farms. I'm a very small Morgan horse farm, and we have approximately 24 acres here. As you know, there are inherent risks with breeding horses. My stallion, who's the black back there, he's a black with red in the agouti, which basically means you breed him to black, you get black. Breed him to bay, you'll get black or bay. Breed him to a bay with white, and he'll more than likely close as much of the color as possible and just really produce a dark foal. I've never bred him to a chestnut, so I'm not sure what that would produce. I hope you find this informative. I'm fully educated on teasing and in-hand collection and in-hand breeding. And it just so happens that when I chose to start buying Morgan horses, I happened to find a nice black that I liked, and the fact that he was raised with mares and was a pasture breeding stallion already is one of the things that really I tuned into right away, because I thought to myself, this is going to be a very easy stallion to manage, especially in the breeding shed. So most of the covers I've done with him have all been in hand, and with the last 2 years of this new mare that I have, I could never get a good tease with her. I just never could get her where she was receptive. She hadn't had a foal in over 10 years. She really wasn't wanting to be bred. So last fall, I turned my stallion and her out, and she was pretty hard on him. And by the time that she came into a really strong heat and was receptive to breeding, they had lived with each other for a month. He was already so wore out with the courtship, the heavy courting, and the strain on his hocks and on his knee from knocking her in the side with his knee to get her attention and to tease her, that I don't think he ever covered her. I never saw him cover her. So what you'll see now is me turning him out, and I've got them recorded. I did record the successful breedings. So you're gonna see a whole bunch of really neat footage. I hope you find it educational and informative, because that's the purpose, really. It's not some kind of a debate over whether you should do this or not. Obviously, if you're a qualified horseman, if you really understand your horses, you would know whether or not this was appropriate for you. Because by no means would I ever take a stud and just throw him out there without him ever having had experience with that. Because it is a skill, it is something that they learn. And my stallion courts his mares, and he talks to them, and you'll see in the video of how he gets their attention and how they follow him, and they actually come to him. So, and a lot of what he's doing is working the perimeter of the dry dock that my mares live on, and catching their eye, catching their interest, and then he courts them. And then he actually bred them today. I was really surprised. In fact, the mare that I've been having problems breeding, he actually covered her 4 successful times. And after her 2 successful times, he made 2 approaches with her, and I don't think he talked to her enough, and she just pushed him away. So you will only see him cover her twice in the footage I have. And then with my other mare, who he's lived with, through her full pregnancies, on 2 of her pregnancies, up until the last month, which is when I separate them, if I do let my stallion live with his mare. So now, this year, turning him out, he knows these mares. These mares are his. So he's had a chance to be alone with them both for a long time. So I just brought him into their paddock and just turned him out. And the rest will unfold if you continue to watch the video. So thank you so much. Mountain Brook Farm, Collinsville, Alabama is our location on Lookout Mountain. And happy Easter. Have a great day. Bye.
You want the bottom ones on too, or are you going to take them out right away?
You can put them on. Look at them, they're so cool. Look at Magic's neck. Freaking awesome. Whoa, Alagio wiped out.
Oh, it's gonna hurt her.
No, she slid and Magic's in heaven. It's like, oh, I get to have some buddies. No, I wish we had like 100 acres to have them out on. So cool. The courtship is such a handsome thing to watch. Angie's winking a little bit. That's interesting. One of these mares, the darker of the two, was turned out with my stallion late summer. But she was really hard on him. She hadn't been turned out with a stud for quite a while. But all these mares now know Magic, and he knows the mares, so we're not sure if the dark one is bred or not. She was so hard on him that by the time she came into full heat, he was pretty run down and exhausted. I'm not sure if he ever got a good cover on her back then or not. She hasn't had a foal in over 10 years, so. And the light-colored bay is a mare that has lived with my stud through her full term of her pregnancy up to the last month when I separated her. And her and Magic got along real good. They're so pretty to watch. Magic really hasn't ever been in this paddock. This is my mare paddock, or dry dock as it is. Well, Angie's winking, so and she really had a nice tail lift there. Hey, Magic. Magic was raised with mares, and when I bought him as a, gosh, was he 9 or 7? I can't remember now. I think he was 9. He already had experience with pasture breeding, and that was one of the real determining factors of why I bought him, just for ease of handling. And he's minding his manners. He's not putting a lot of pressure on those mares. And he's got their attention. Flagging, good job. The flagging where the tail's going up and down is when there's an ejaculation. So this is a good cover. And that is a mare I've been trying to get him to cover for over 2 years now. Well, about 2 years. She just wanted nothing to do with it. I think Magic's in love. He's already covered Alagio, the other mare, twice. So this will be his third cover in 2 hours. Flagging tail. Hey, Angie. You're so pretty. Accent of Equinox, daughter. Hey, Alagio. NSS Alagio. What do you think, Magic? You about ready to go back to your house? Over in the other paddock? Looks like you're probably about spent for the day on breeding. I think you better come out with me. So if you followed the entire video through, you would have seen his last two attempts breeding that mare. She turned him away, and it's because he wasn't ready, or he hadn't talked to her enough to have her attention and her permission, basically. And gosh, I'm just really happy. This really worked out well. There's nothing more beautiful than watching the courtship of horses if you can facilitate that in a safe way. And I just want to thank you for watching my video. Happy Easter and have a great day. Oh, Magic did cover her 2 more times after I stopped filming. So one of them was when I went to go catch him to remove him from the dry dock. He ran up to her, talked to her, courted her, and then bred her before I could take him out, because he really wanted to stay. And I didn't want to leave him in because, once again, if they just constantly are breeding, it and not only is well, it's hard on the hocks of your breeding stallion. And he would have minded his manners. He's lived with mares before, and they would have eventually just, you know, kept him away. So I would probably consider leaving him out overnight. But it was enough for today. Anyway, happy Easter. Bye.